Hey guys, and welcome to another makeup talks. Alright, so today I wanted to spend time and talk to you guys about primers and what to expect from a primer, what kind of primer to get. You know, there are a lot out there in the market and they kind of grew into their own thing. You know, it used to be that you just get a primer to make your makeup go on smoother. It was like a skin conditioner. You just kind of smooth it over and then whatever foundation you put on would go on better. You know, you'd see less pores, lines, and wrinkles. But now we got all these different primers and primers done with different ingredients, and we're gonna find out how to pick the best for your skin today. The first thing you want to think about when you're picking a primer is finish, and by that I mean if you want a matte, which means like no shine at all, if you want a dewy, which means you want a little bit of shine, or if you want a natural, which basically means it looks like you're not wearing anything. If you were looking for a more mattifying primer, I definitely suggest something that is a cream to powder primer. You know, there are a lot of those in the market. Or you can grab one that's completely oil-free that says mattifying on it. It's probably going to have some kind of ingredient in it that absorbs oil. Or you want to get something that's silicone based, you know, like dimethicone. Usually those actually absorb a lot of shine as well. It's not going to replace your powder. Powder is probably the thing that's going to make you matte the most, so don't think that getting a primer is going to solve all your problems. If you want a dewy finish, you want something that has a sheen on it, so look for the words luminizing or radiance. That's another, you know, big word that people throw in primers. And you want to also know that if you're looking for those that have the sheen, that you're looking specifically for that to be in the packaging, because if it just says hydrating, then it's just going to hydrate your skin, but it can give you a natural finish. You also want to make sure that after you choose the right finish that it matches what your skin type is. So if you're really oily and you're looking for matte, you know, then that kind of helps to tone down the oils. Or if you're really oily and you're looking for a dewy finish, then you probably don't want something that's luminizing, or else it's going to make you look super shiny. So probably just get something that's more of a natural finish, and then your natural oils would just kind of come out and make the foundation dewy for you. If you're really dry but you still want a matte finish, then I would do the same thing. I would skip using a mattifying primer and just use a regular one, and it'll probably give you that matte look that you're looking for, because you're dry anyways, you know, so you'll probably dry it up. Other ways to shop for primers is to help correct problems within your skin tone. So there's a lot of primers that are colored. For example, Smashbox's primers and Clinique primers are now colored, so they help with different skin concerns that you're worried about covering. When you see a green primer, everyone knows that that's for redness. So what most people do is like they'll buy a green primer and they'll use it all over their face, and then they look like green face. You're actually supposed to just put it and dot it on the spots where you have the redness, you know. Those primers are great for rosacea, for little acne spots that you just want to reduce the redness. You're not really worried about covering it, you know, completely with concealer. That's who it's good for. Like if you have excessive redness, broken capillaries, or you feel like your acne is out of control and you can't cover it, and you're thinking of investing on a green primer, I would actually invest on a good concealer and foundation first, you know, and maybe then after think about using a primer. Primer is just for like mild, you know, concerns. Other primers out there are yellow, which is also for redness. It helps to offset it. Sometimes if you have a warmer undertone, those work better for you than the green. Purple for sallowness. Sometimes people's skins can get really yellow, you know, jaundiced looking. That's when you use a purple to kind of tone it down, so when you put your foundation it doesn't turn, or it doesn't look as yellow, or you don't have to like offset the shade undertone of your foundation because of the yellowness in your skin. You know, you can use a purple primer to neutralize that. And then they're also like skin tone primers, which almost are like bastard tinted moisturizers. You know, they just even out the skin tone a little bit. They don't do much, but it helps if you just want to kind of even out the skin tone lightly and you feel like you just need that small amount of coverage to get you where you want to be. Another thing I like to think about when I'm purchasing a primer is how often am I going to use this. If it's something I don't use If it's a primer I feel like I'm not going to use a lot, that I'm just using it for, you know, pictures or just to look really smooth, then I'll probably buy the most silicone-y, most methicone thick primer, since I'm just going to use it for a day. If it's something that's that I know I'm going to use every day underneath a foundation that I wear every day and I want my skin to be comfortable, then I'll choose something that's a little bit more water-based, you know, something that's like thinner, so that it, you know, because it's going to be in your skin, you don't want to feel it on your skin every single day. At least I don't, you know. Some people can, I can't. Another type of primer that I forgot to talk about, and which some people are looking for, are fillers. So fillers come in many forms. They come in like pore fillers, or they call them line fillers, and those are great to just kind of blur the look of deep wrinkles and lines. The Porefessional by Benefit's a pretty good one. Smashbox makes one that's the targeted pore primer. Those are really thick in silicone, so when you put it on, you can feel it. You know, you'll notice how thick they are compared to everything else. If you feel like you need a primer that's thick all over your face, I would go with the Clarins Line Smoothing Primer. It comes in like in a small red pot, and that one literally you smooth all over your face and it makes it look smooth. If you're more mature in aging and you feel like that's what you need for your foundation to look perfect, then I definitely recommend it for you. Just note that the more silicone and the thicker the products are for any primer that you use, the weirder your foundation will go on top of it. So you want to make sure to either take a sample or try it in store to see what kind of reaction your foundation will have to that primer. So just, you can put a little bit on the back of your hand and put a little bit of your foundation and see what happens. Some people, though, when they buy primers, they notice that it balls up on them and or starts looking like powder, or like it just kind of rolls off their face. That could be because of a bunch of different reasons. One of the reasons could be because you applied way too much of that product on your skin and it's starting to ball up on itself. You know, usually that happens if your primer that you're using has a lot of silicone, or your moisturizer that you're using has silicone already built into it and you're just adding more, which is causing it to roll down your skin. So yeah, that was the makeup talks for this week. I hope you learned a lot about primers and different types of primers and what to get next time you're in store. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know. There is a section underneath this video dedicated just to that. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next week with another makeup talks. Bye-bye. Bye guys!